Hello everyone, welcome back to another English online session. I hope you all fine. Today I am going to narrate the balance part of the story, The Necklace. So far we understood that this lady, Mrs. Loisel, Matilda Loisel, was not satisfied with her present life because she was running a middle class life. She always fancied that a luxurious, rich life, and most of her friends were leading a luxurious life. So she always wanted to have a luxurious life, but she couldn't because her husband also a clerk, a person who was running a middle class life. But on occasion, his minister offered him a party, invitation to a party, and he very happily given that party invitation to Matilda. But she just told she has no dress, she no good dress, and she has no jewels. So there the problems were started. Uh, he has given money to buy dress, but she was asked to borrow jewels from her friend Mrs. Forestier. Now I am going to narrate what are the things happened after that. Shall we start? Matilda hugged her friend with affection and left for her house. The day of the party arrived, and Mrs. Loisel was appreciated as she was the prettiest, most elegant, and gracious of all. She was very happy and full of joy as all the men were noticing her. She was full of enthusiasm and pleasure as she was very happy with all the attention she had gained. The couple left the party at 4 o'clock in the morning. Mrs. Loisel had already slept at 12 o'clock in one of the halls with the three other men whose wives were also enjoying the party. Mrs. Loisel threw the wrap around her shoulders as they were about to leave. The elegance of the party dress was getting ruined by the wrap as it was not that pretty. She wanted to leave the party quickly because she did not want the rich ladies who had wrapped themselves in rich furs to see her in a cheap wrap. This was because she had portrayed herself as a rich lady by wearing the new dress and the diamond necklace. Mrs. Loisel asked her to wait as he was calling a cab, but she was in a hurry and quickly went down the stairs. As they got on the street, they were looking for a carriage which could take them home but could not find one. Then they saw a coachman at a distance and started calling him. The coachman did not stop. They kept walking together towards the river and finally found a carriage. The kind one finds in Paris at dusk time. The carriage took them to their home and they both went up. By then, they were extremely tired. So, this passage is telling us that this lady became an attractive point in that party, especially because of the diamond necklace. But after she was checking, the wrap on her neck was not that much costly. If others found it, it may be a shame for her. So she decided to leave the place suddenly. And they have tried to catch a carriage, but they found it very difficult to find one. At last, they find a ordinary carriage and reached their home. By the time they were very much tired, so they went into the room to get some sleep. The enthusiasm and fun for Mrs. Loisel had ended by then. Mr. Loisel also remembered that he had to reach his office by 10 in the morning. As she stood in front of the mirror and removed the wrap to see herself one last time in the beautiful dress and necklace, she agreed because the necklace was missing. It was not on her neck. Mr. Loisel was already half undressed by then and was almost ready to go to sleep when he asked her the reason for shouting. She turned towards him and said that Mrs. Forrester's necklace was missing and that it might have fallen somewhere. They searched it in the folds of the dresses, the cloaks, and in the pockets, but could not find it. Mr. Loisel then asked her if she remembered having it on while they were leaving the minister's house. So the real trouble struck them. The valuable necklace she borrowed from Mrs. Forrester was missing now. She was terrified by understanding that she just missed the necklace, and he was also enquiring her whether it was there when she left the house of ministers. Mrs. Loisel said that she remembered having it on as she had felt it while leaving the house of the minister. Mr. Loisel said that if it would have fallen on the street, then they would have heard the sound of it falling, but they did not hear anything, which meant that it must have fallen in the cab. To this, she replied that it could be possible that what he said was right and asked him if he noticed down the number of the cab. Both of them had not seen the number of the carriage. They were let down by what had just happened. And Mr. Loisel dressed up again to go and look on the tracks where they were walking. She remained at home wearing her evening gown, whereas her husband went out in search of the necklace. Mr. Loisel returned at 7 in the morning and announced that he had not found anything. They have thought of all the possible places where this necklace could have missed and concluded that it may missed in the cabin, but they don't know where what's the number of that cabin. And this Mr. Loisel, he went out and tried to search it all the way the place where they walked back to their home. Everywhere he searched, and he came back to the house around 7 and said that he didn't find the necklace anywhere. So she was in real trouble. He also went to the police and cab officers asking about it and gave an advertisement about it in the newspaper. He offered a reward for whoever returned it. Mrs. Loisel waited for her husband the whole day, and when he returned, he announced that he had not been able to find the necklace. Mr. Loisel told his wife to write to Mrs. Forrester that they had given the necklace for repairing as the hook of the necklace had broken. After looking for it for almost a week, they decided to buy another necklace for Mrs. Forrester as they were not able to find the original one. Then they searched looking for a necklace similar to the one they had lost and found one in a shop at Palais Royal. The price for the necklace was 36,000 francs with a discount of 4,000 francs. They have done everything to get this necklace back, but nothing had happened. So they decided to buy a new one because they should return the necklace very soon. They have given a reason to Mrs. Forrester that they have given it for repair. They didn't inform it was lost. Mr. Loisel had about 18,000 francs which were given to him by his father before his death. He borrowed the rest of the money from different money lenders. He then bought the new necklace from the shop by paying the full amount. When Mrs. Loisel took the necklace to her friend told her that she should have returned it earlier as she too needed it. Her friend did not even open and check the necklace as Mrs. Loisel had expected. Mrs. Loisel was worried about what would happen if her friend came to know about the replacement of the necklace. She could blame her to be a thief. Mrs. Loisel realized how horrible life could become. She knew that they would have to pay the loan that they had taken for the necklace at any cost, so they started to reduce their expenses and save more money to return the loan. Now she cannot even run a middle class life. She has to save that money also to what to pay the loan amount. She somehow managed to return the necklace, but now they have borrowed or lended a lot of money to buy this necklace. They have to work hard to pay it back. They removed the maid from her job, changed their house, and rented rooms on the roof of a building. Now she had to learn the tiring and boring work of kitchen, like washing dishes and cooking food. She would wash clothes and hang them on the line to dry. She used to go down to the street each morning to get water with the little money that she had. She used to dress like ordinary people and go to the grocery shop, the butcher shop, and the fruit shop with a basket to buy the things of daily use. The husband was also in a miserable condition as he used to work extra time in the evenings and often did copying work at night for a small amount of 5 sources a page. Here, look at this their condition because of their greediness. She just borrowed this necklace for only one party, but when it missed, it became a endless suffering for them. They did this for 10 years and paid back their debt within this period. By this time, Mrs. Loisel had become a hard-working woman of the poor household. She had started looking old with her hair badly kept, hands red, and she used to speak in a loud voice. Many times, to feel good when her husband used to go to work. She would sit next to the window and think about the party at the minister's house. She used to feel good about how beautiful and elegant she looked that day. She would imagine about how her life would be if she would not have lost the necklace. She used to think about how unpredictable life could be and how a small step could change a person's life. Look at that, a small moment of carelessness cost her 10 years of life. The entire life has changed, and now she became in a very pathetic condition. One day she was relieving herself of the stress of the weekend and enjoying a walk along the Champs Ales when she suddenly saw a lady walking with a child. The young, pretty, and attractive lady was Mrs. Forestier. Mrs. Loisel started thinking about whether she should talk to her or not. She decided that as she had given her the necklace back and paid back all the debts, there was no reason for her not to talk to her. Mrs. Loisel went to her and said, "Good morning, Jean." Mrs. Forestier was confused as she could not recognize the person but thought that she was familiar because only her close friends used to call her by that name. She told her that she might have got the wrong person and that she might be looking for someone else. But Mrs. Loisel introduced herself to her old friend and Jean Forestier was shocked to see her in such a poor and changed look. Look at that, how pathetic is the condition of Mrs. Loisel because her best friend could not identify her. Mrs. Loisel lost her charm and became very ordinary looking woman, and she was not caring about her life, her present life. She was occasionally she was dreaming about that particular day, how she outwin all the other women and been an attractive person in that party. But because of these all these works and everything, she was not at all caring about her charmness and she lost her charm. She then replied that she did have some hard days last time they met. She said that life had been miserable and it was all because of Mrs. Forestier. Then Mrs. Forestier asked how was she responsible for her bad days, to which Matilda, Matilda Loisel replied that she had lost Forestier's necklace. To this, Mrs. Forrester replied that it was not possible because she had returned it to her. Matilda replied that she had bought a similar necklace and they had been paying the debt for the last 10 years. She also said that they were not that rich to afford such an expensive necklace. Matilda added that their debts was now over and that she was satisfied with whatever she had. So she informed everything, whatever happened after the necklace missed to Mrs. Forestier. Jean was surprised and asked Matilda if she bought a diamond necklace just to replace her lost necklace, to which she replied yes. Mrs. Forestier was touched while holding her in her arms. She said that the necklace which she had borrowed from Mrs. Forestier was a fake necklace and that it was not worth more than 500 francs. Look at that, how pathetic the condition of Mrs. Matilda Loisel. At last she understand that the 10 years she worked to pay the amount which she bought a necklace, a diamond necklace, and that necklace replaced with a fake necklace. Mrs. Forestier's necklace is a fake necklace, and if they had a good conversation by the time, or she had admitted this before, she might not go through such a difficult time in her life. But only after 10 years, all the sufferings, only she understand that she had a mind to talk to Mrs. Forestier freely, and then only it is revealed that that necklace she lost, Mrs. Loisel lost in the party, was a fake necklace. To replace that, they have done all those things. So the greediness paid off here. Look at that, 10 years of her life she spent to pay off her debt. This is the end of this story, and in the end this story is sending a message that we should not be greedy because it harm our life. As usual, just read the text. Don't forget to have a dictionary while reading. Find new words and write it above there. See you in the next class. Bye.